What do you do if you live in a place where your money is suddenly worth almost nothing? And every day, because of wild inflation, it's worth even less.
So the only thing backing this money is belief in the competency of the government.
Unfortunately, that's true. Believe me, there's been a lot of effort and time and energy that's been put into
You're too busy to watch this ad. Just like you were too busy to invest in Bitcoin.
For as long as we've been tinkering with computers on any mass scale, there's been a dream of digital cash. A cash that would function like cash
in the sense that it's non-traceable, anonymous, instant, free to use, and yet would be able to interoperate with computer networks.
Plan B.
Each day I'm closer to being cash of the future. Not in your wallet, I'm in your computer. I'm the consensus of shared and synchronized digital data. Spread across multiple platforms from Shanghai to Grenada. Each day I'm closer to being cash of the future. Not in your wallet, I'm in your computer.
Across great distances, without any central party, authority, or intermediary.
Bitcoin. What?
Well, sorry for the delay there. A few technical issues getting started there, but I'm just going to play a little bit more music while I get a few more things lined up, and then I'll start the show.
You might have like gold. Like I invented and created this program that releases blocks of Bitcoin over time.
Bitcoin. It's ingenious.
Yeah, I'm God certified, but the business is bonds diversified. We up in our percentages. I'm a Skrilla and my dog Vader in Las Vegas, chopping up game with the odds makers. Paid the cost to be the boss, it ain't involved paper. On my own production means, so my margin greater. Income tax dodger / job creator. Truck in the water, pushing lines like Lawrence Taylor. Block stacking like Jenga, I'm a market shaker. Commissaries to field, lawyers on retainer. Can't comprehend these grown kindergarten gangsters. Affiliation chasing niggas bears no relation. The family grown holy, it ain't lonely at the tip top, yeah. I need extra guacamole on my chip. I'm looking for a raise, I'm pulling through the zip. Niggas selling whoops a days. Some all-star seasons past the rookie phase. I need half the booking fee before I cook the stage. My rider got to cover cushion, octopus fillets. 10 gauge, knock a squad off board like 10 books in spades. Yeah.
Hand-to-hand sales on the block, came and went, and now I do it peer-to-peer on the blockchain, getting down. I got my rare squares, never tangled, flip them like bricks, stretch them into rectangles, and build in a basic pattern. Hasbro, it's all held together by the gas, bro. I have a load of these tokens, he's coming up, some in lumps, under 5 others in a pump and dump. What a jerk, you're retarded. I hear it and I laugh as I subvert the market. Rebellion is a given, it should be no shock. Regulated goods shipped to my P.O. box from an anonymous accomplice. We live beyond this, in tunnels of exchanges and quick responses. So Mr. Government, we're coming, you ain't running shit around here, we're shutting you down.
Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on about blockchain.
Well, welcome back to On-Chain Melody. A few tunes there from Rare Skrilla. Hopefully, going to get them on the show sometime soon. Be great to actually have a chat with them about these early inscriptions they got on. I've been going through the inscriptions for the last few weeks. I'm up to around 12,000, and actually, there's only any full tunes in the first sort of 2,000, and then beyond there, there's the audio gets quite sparse. But yeah, still lots of stuff to go through, and I'm really interested to talk to Skrilla about possibly doing some Audionals stuff. So I'm just going to move over to the sequencer, just so I can show everyone some of the new things that I've been working on there. I think I've just pressed the wrong button. Oh, bye. Let me just get that back. There we go. Okay. So the sequencer now, for those who haven't had a play with it recently, there's had a lot of updates on there. Obviously the same thing stand. These are the audio files. When you load them in, you bring up a menu here, and you can scroll through the current inscriptions that I've hard coded into the sequencer. There'll be more of these soon, and you can actually audition them in there as well.
One small step for man.
So you can load your own samples in from this window just by clicking on these channel boxes. Down here we've got 16 quick play buttons, and these are basically representing the first 16 sequences. So this is sequence 1, and if you were to scroll through the sequences, you can see they're lighting up to show you each sequence. These are all empty, obviously, but I have now added a preset to the bottom of the sequencer. Down here you've got a load and save button. This is where you can save your current sequence, and it just downloads as a JSON file to your hard drive. It's a very simple little text file that just explains which URLs are servicing, so which URL is providing the audio sample, the Audional sample for the channel, and then all the settings for these 64 steps. And so you can save if you do actually have up to 64 sequences in a single song. When you've got continuous play here, you can just play each sequence in sequence. So you can just have a song that you don't have to be skipping about backwards and forwards. This is more for playing live. But if you save that sequence, it will save all 64 sequences in a single JSON file. So when you load it back up again, you can have your full song. The previous version was very restrictive. You could only use one 64 step sequence at a time. So if you go down to the load button and click it, you'll see that you can load from JSON files. So if you do have your own project JSON, you can just load it from here. It'll just bring up a load window like that, and then you can choose the file that you want to load. But I've also added an internal preset just for a bit of fun, just so there's something for people to play with some multiple sequences to jump through. So if you press the load button and then select load internal preset 1, and that's now loaded the internal preset. And so you'll see I've set up a number of different sequences here, which again you could just put continuous play on and play through them, but I quite like flicking backwards and forwards. So I'll show you how that works. You get the point. So that's yeah, how to kind of load up the sort of multi-sequence that I've set up, but I would really suggest that people just open the default sequencer and just start filling these in. You know, pick your own sounds down here, and just start adding them. You can create a beat simply by adding the hits where you want them. I mean, this sample I have here has actually got a bass note and a kick drum, which isn't necessarily so helpful, but you can just draw them in by clicking on these are little buttons that you say, okay, I want to trigger this sample here and here and here and here, and then hit play, and then we can go and find the snare, which is here. So just unmute it. So we might, just draw something in like that. Something like this. I'm making it up as I go. See what that sounds like. I had my mic on then, that might have sounded a bit weird. So that's how you kind of start to build up a tune, but what we need next is like the ability to put stuff in that's not necessarily audio, because all of that is quite costly. All of these samples that I've inscribed and that other people have inscribed, it's not a cheap thing to do. But what I've been working on lately is this, which is an emulator based on sounds from the synth that I have behind me in my studio. One of my favorites is the Korg MS-10. It's an old analog synth, and so I've been kind of trying to design something that emulates that in a way. It's still very much a work in progress. This is it is linked up to the website right now. I think you go to audionals.com/synth modules with a small s and a big M /MS10, all lowercase, and that should get you to this synth, and it is tied into to the sequencer. So you can see here, if I adjust the tempo here, you can see the tempo has changed here, so they're synced up. I've been building an arpeggiator. You can, in fact, let me just unplug my power, and I will plug my controller keyboard in, and then let's have a listen Okay, is that going to work? Sometimes there's can be a bit tricky getting the machines to talk. Let's see if I have a little jiggle back here. No, it may be tricky because my mic input and the MIDI keyboard input are very close to one another, and they may be preventing each other from being heard. Let me just see if I've got something in there. What I might do is pick another song to play while I try to problem solve. So let's go back into the songs here, and we'll add probably some more Rare Skrillers. Is going to be what's going to be coming out, isn't it? What's this one? Yeah, let's go for these two. Okay, so let's have a little bit more music while I try and figure this stuff out, and hopefully I can come back and show you what the synth sounds like.
Construed channels for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice.
We're getting there. We're more bullish than we've been.
He's an early Bitcoin investor, and he thinks that Bitcoin's going to keep on going straight up. And did you tell me during the break? I know you did. Repeat it for the viewers. You think it's going to go to $1 million?
What are the fucking numbers? If it's less than $2 million by the end of 2020, then mathematics itself is a flawed discipline.
The price will go up to 30,000, 40, 50, 60. I think it'll go up to 100,000, maybe even $200,000 for the next run up.
We will start the bullish trend. People are currently buying into the market.
I'm talking about this is the bottom. This is the bottom.
Has Wall Street absorbed the number of body blows it took today?
The world has gone mad and the system is broken.
The American financial system is rocked to its foundation as top Wall Street institutions topple under a mountain of debt.
Out by taxpayers.
It's pretty clear they cannot be trusted.
Money first go.
He said, your problem is that you're trying to understand this as an economic story. Once you look at it as a crime story,
you'll get it.
The Fed is losing control once again. In just a couple of days, the U.S. Federal Reserve has pumped out $125 billion. Handed that money over to commercial banks once again.
Money first go. Money first go.
But my faith and my money help me rise above.
buy low and sell high.
But my faith and my money help me rise above. But my faith and my money help me rise above. But my faith and my money help me rise above. But my faith and my money help me rise above.
You can't just keep being a tool of the global financial elite.
But my faith and my money help me rise above.
You are asking for the biggest bailout in the history of this country.
Rise above.
It led to an age of populism, a deep distrust of Wall Street, and a near meltdown of the global economy.
By the biggest bankruptcy in U.S. history. Everybody figured this out and they could probably get it. Another disaster is waiting around the corner.
Chancellor on brink of second bailout for
Thanks. Money markets will dry up around the world by the end of the week. ATMs will stop spitting bills. Federal deposit insurance will collapse. Banks will close. Mobs panic. It's going to be the end of the world, Bill.
All right, so I think I've got this working now, so just going to get this playing again. So yeah, there you go. Little demo of the synth there. It's remarkably small in terms of size of the synth, so it will be inscribed soon. I've got to inscribe this new version of the sequencer the current version that we have is the current version that is inscribed. Is only an 8-channel sequencer, and it's the original version that I created. I could in fact show it to you just for those who haven't seen it. It's a little piece of Audionals history. Let's see, is it on here? I've just got to find the right page. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look here. So this is the original sequencer. Let me just zoom this out a little so you can see the top, so we can just see what is there an inscription number? I actually can't remember. Let's have a look. Oh, just moved the wrong thing. Let's go to the correct one, and a bit of this, a bit of that. No, we still don't have an inscription number there, but anyway, it was inscribed several months ago. It's got some presets in it, similar to what's going on in the current preset. So yeah, that's kind of automated, but when you load up this version of the sequencer, it's automated to play the song. It was kind of a demo, but this is effectively what's powering things like the player. So this is the player that I've created, the first player, and what's going on in here is that this player is reading a JSON file that is kept, which is also inscribed. In fact, I'll show you that. We've got a copy of the JSON here. So this is the Audex is the name of the protocol for recording songs rather than audio, and this is what a song looks like. So it's just you've got the URL down here, which is where the audio sample is being pulled from for channel 1. These are all the trigger positions for the audio sample in channel 1. And then, as you can see, you've got the other 7 channels there. So this is the original format. This will still work with the 16-channel sequencer, but obviously if you've got 16-channel sequencers made in the current sequencer, they're not going to operate in the current inscribed sequencer, being this one. But this does. This was written on the 8-channel sequencer. It was then saved as this JSON, and now this player is recursively calling this JSON. Among other things, it's also got artwork and stuff that's kind of built into it. But this is recursively calling the song that is recorded in the JSON and then playing it in this player format. And the player itself, the code for this player to recursively pull together all of these aspects, is around 0.5 kilobyte. So it's really a very reasonable cost to reproduce high quality audio on chain. It's like, you've heard all the stuff from Rare Scooter, which is totally awesome. It was put on chain when it was a lot cheaper. It was almost affordable to just put a song on chain directly. But really now this recursive method, pulling in high quality WAV files. In fact, the ones I'm using for this are MP3, but it's still considerably better quality than the low bit rate that has been applied to all the early Bitcoin songs. But have a little listen to this. he certainly does love cheese. That was obviously built in fairly restrictive conditions using the 8-channel sequencer and, you know, the handful of audio samples that I had inscribed at the time. In fact, there's a couple of drum loops in there from the Bitcoin Step, which was created by Longstreet, which is a yet to be released NFT collection, I believe, with Counterfeit Culture. Yeah, so that was, you know, produced in the early days with only a single sequence in the sequencer, so everything had to be automated. I just had to play the same sequence and then automate the mute buttons coming on and off to sort of simulate the song. Very different from now, because this sequencer has, you know, the new sequencer has continuous play, 16 channels. There's a huge amount of variation that you can get out of the new sequencer, including loading new samples on the fly, so you can go from one sequence into the next sequence that has an entirely different set of 16 audio samples set up, and the sequencer will play it, you know, seamlessly. It's really great. So that player is ultimately what is powered by the sequencer. So once you have, say, created you know, the 64 sequences on here, which is over 10 minutes. But so once you've created a song of any length up to 10 and a half minutes, you will be able to then inscribe the JSON that you save, and then you'll be able to recursively pull that back in using the player. And so again, the player will eventually be designed to be fully customizable. I've just made this look like Audionals, but you know, people will be able to build the player to look any way they want to look. It could look like our show's logo radio. You know, you could put your own play button on there. Have your own scrolling text inside that window on the player there. There's no limit really to what can be done. I've also looked into, be quite good fun with my player here, to do things like animate the headphones so that they sort of pump with the bass, or you know, you could do anything with this stuff. It's all code, and then ultimately it all recursively boils down into a single 0.5 kilobyte player file, which is just recursively grabbing other elements. And I'm pretty sure with a little bit of time and some funding for more research, I'll be able to get this player considerably smaller, hopefully down to 100 or 200 bytes, which will get the cost right down to, you know, currently 20 cents or so for the cost of production for putting together a collection of songs. So yeah, so that's quite exciting. But of course, back when I created this, didn't have the synth you know, to play with, and that also is going to really open things up, because now that there is a synth, it means that people can, you know, play their own bass lines. So you know, once people really get a hold of this, I have got a new version. The version of the synth that's on the website is fairly simple. I've got a new version which does now have a record mechanism, so you can record a 1 bar, a 2 bar, or a 4 bar loop, and you can also just have a free recording where you just, you know, play free through the song. I haven't put quantization in there yet, which I will at some point, but it's still a lot of fun to play with when you get a nice sort of 4 bar loop going. You set it on a loop, leave the sequencer playing, and then just start playing with these settings here, and changing the wave types as well. And I will get more. This synth is designed to be modular. You know, there's a module that is for plugging in the USB keyboard. So again, you know, once I've got it inscribed, you'll just be able to just visit the inscription, with your keyboard plugged in, it will automatically find your keyboard and allow you to play. I also haven't currently set up all the channels on here yet, because of course I've sort of got this sending it from a master channel, but the plan is to have at least 16 channels on the synth, which, as you can see currently, I've actually got it running in a separate window, which has some benefits, because you get more oscillators, because you're only restricted by the number of oscillators in each window. So in theory, we should be able to get up to 16 of these synths, and of course it'll be fun enough. This synth, I think, is flexible enough that you'll be able to create quite a lot of interesting sounds just by layering these synths with different settings on top of one another. But of course the plan is to have a whole range of synths and modules. I've been working on a clapper, it's called. It was like an old pedal that I used to really love in the studio, which is a very simple piece of hardware which has a clap sound in it, and all you do is you decide to play it multiple times, and then you can spread out the claps. And so it's something that's very simple to do, you know, on chain within the Audionals system, is to just to take a sample and buffer it up, and then actually have it play so it sounds like a group of people playing the same note, or, you know, in this case it's a clap, and you can spread it out so it really sounds like a bunch of people clapping, and then you can put some you can intersperse the timings between the claps so it doesn't sound robotic, you know, it sounds naturally like people just clapping slightly at a time. And these are all really simple add-ons that we can add, and so you could end up layering, you know, I don't know what the limit is, but I'm assuming with the way it's currently running, it's going to be a lot of different units that you can actually run simultaneously when you're creating a song. So we'll hopefully have down the bottom here, we'll have some more channels which you'll be able to load the synths into, and then the synths will each have their own modal. So when you click on the synth unit in this section here in the sequencer, it will bring up you know, this sort of control surface, if you like, for the synth that you're using, so that you can play with the settings. Of course, saving the settings as well is actually saving the preset settings, like where they are static, is very, very small amount of memory, so that's going to add a very, very small number of bytes to the song file. Even moving the settings, depending on how you're moving them, if you're moving them you know, evenly, you can actually use an algorithm to just give a start point and an end point, and that also saves on a lot of memory. Just had a message from Color. I'll see if he can jump in quickly. I'm going to wrap up soon, but just let him know. Okay, just told him to come and jump into the Discord, so hopefully he will. Hopefully then you'll be able to hear him, because that'll be the next thing, is that he'll jump in, and I'll have done something weird with my sound settings. I might not be able to hear him, but we'll see. Color also has done a player. In fact, let me see if I can find that and show you guys. We're looking to get these players up so that people can purchase them either through the Audionals website or possibly one of the marketplaces. Been talking to Audionals bot about possibly putting songs on there, so that might happen. Let's see if I'll show you Color's player. There you go. So there's his player. Let's play this, and maybe by the end of it he'll have joined me. If not, I'll probably sign off. So here is Audionals Pump D&B mix by Colour. Okay, so Colour's just been telling me that the sound quality is really bad, so I hope I haven't just mucked this all right up. I might have to just come back tomorrow and redo the whole thing. It may have just been a restart. I was having technical issues at the start of the show, had to do a rushed restart, and perhaps there was an issue there. I will go back and do a post-mortem when we finish the stream, and we'll look into that. I don't even know whether to play something out now if the sound's so bad, but I think I will anyway. But let's find that one. There's one that I really love from early on. It's a very quiet song. and maybe it won't sound so bad. Where is it? It is all about the Bitcoin. Is that the one? No. It's inscription number 74. I know that much. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so hopefully this doesn't sound too awful, but thanks for joining. If the sound quality has really let us down, I'll probably come back tomorrow and do this again. But for now, take care and see you on the next one. Actually, it looks like it's not even sending out that output now. Is that not? Okay, so looks like I've lost. Looks like I've lost the internal sound now altogether. Let's try this. See if that's done anything. No. It looks like my internal sound has given up the ghost. So I think I'll just wrap it up without any music for now. So thanks, and see you next time. Cheers. Thanks for listening.